And the time will come very soon, that those with discernment will literally see the demons coming through. And actually some already do. So, as promised, I would come back with a summary or a response to the video series The Extreme Christian. And, I introduced it with a very short introductory video called The Most Important Message You Don't Want to Hear. And that appeared to be true, as the number of subscribers actually declined during that series, and also the number of viewers per part. So it was 3 parts, and in the second part were about half the number of viewers than in the first part, and the third part it were again less. So that's more or less as predicted and as expected. Unfortunately, I have to say. Now, normally I don't pay too much attention to statistics of number of subscribers and views and all this, but in this case it's a very interesting indicator. Apart from that, I think that those that did view and respond were very serious, and that comes really out from the reactions. And I would suggest, by the way, that you read those comments that are written under the different videos. We can learn from it. We can learn from each other's experiences and point of view. And that's I think that's a good thing. And just to give you an idea of the audience, we had viewers from the United States, Canada and the Netherlands. This is usually the top 3. But also from Australia, United Kingdom, from Africa, Kenya and Zimbabwe, but also from Mexico, France, South Africa, Fiji, South Korea, United Arab Emirates, Belgium, Jamaica, to my surprise from Nepal, Slovenia, Sri Lanka, Sweden, Papua New Guinea, Belize, Germany, India, Singapore, Jordan. So it's really all over the place, which is very interesting and surprising also, with regards to some countries at least. And about 56% of the viewers are female and 44% male. That's the division. So it's quite well divided, I think. So in this series I presented a challenge to leave your smartphone off and stuffed away for a week. I called it the Smartphone Detox Challenge. And it was interesting. I want to read a few comments that people left. So again, you can read all of them in YouTube in the comment section. But some I really want to share. And since they are there on YouTube, they're public, so it's okay for me to read them. George wrote, "Thank you for this message. It's something I've known and considered for a long time. I will put the phone down for a week, and I already know how my life will change. Thank you for the teaching." And then later, after he has started this challenge, he writes, "Hi brother, I began this challenge last week and I can tell you that immediately it confirmed how distracting the phone was or is. Everyone with a smartphone knows this already, just like a smoker knows smoking is not good for their health. All the notifications that I was anticipating throughout the day via social media apps that kept interrupting the time I spent with family, co-workers and loved ones are turned off. I barred myself from going onto Twitter and Instagram for the week, and I felt I was spending more time in the Spirit, in prayer. Reading Psalms and Proverbs the last week also changed. I'm listening more. The word is more amplified. I'm reading with less head noise that my mind was constantly jumping to. Maybe oversupply of information. In the last few days I did jump back on those platforms to see what the world was up to. The earthquakes and award show antics. I do regret it, because it's a very slippery slope and you go from just checking into binging. This is my experience to date. But I feel as though I need to draw a line in the sand and delete my online accounts. But I do enjoy channels like this and other believers that share content online. I hope that whoever gives this challenge a go can see the benefits, and I look forward to other people's stories. Praise Yah. So this was very nice and honest response, and thank you, George, for that. And I think it's edifying for others. Someone else wrote, the phone has become a lifeline for me in getting sound Bible teaching and also encouragement, and the gathering together of the saints who believe and are looking for the blessed hope and appearing of Jesus Christ in the pre-trib rapture of the church. Now many had this reason that they listen to messages and follow channels like this channel. And I will get back to that, whether or not we need actually smartphone for that. Then another comment. Yes, I agree. Thank you. I respect you and your presence and how you present your teaching of the Lord's word. We are supposed to be praying without ceasing. How can we be praying and meditating on His word if we are looking at our phones all the time? Another one wrote, I plan on taking part in this challenge and will schedule my YouTube channel watching of believers who teach, such as yourself, for the end of the week. This is so thought-provoking and so needed. Many are encouraging us right now of the importance of spending much more time with Jesus by being in the Word of God, so that we will not be deceived. Then there was a comment of YouTube user called Shadow of What I Once Was, and I will not read all of it, but some parts. Wow, you have certainly challenged us in a hard way, Brother Stefan. Hearing you talk about your feelings on the smartphone reminded me much of how David Wilkerson used to talk about how he felt about television and what we should do about it, as in get rid of it. And by the way, I will at the end of this recap say a few more things about smartphone in particular. So she continues, if I was to do this challenge, and believe me, I do want to take you up on this challenge, I would have to modify it somewhat, as in stay away from the internet, social media, turn it all off for a week, even all my teaching and edifying sermons and encouraging messages, but still keep my phone. And just spend all that extra time in reading the Bible, praying and listening to my old audio Bible CDs while I'm while I'm cooking or preparing dinner for my husband. Make it fast of sorts. There are some things in here that I like very much. She's given us thoughts how to do this and also to maintain what's important. And then she ends, thanks for the challenge, Brother Stefan. I look forward to doing it. I hear lots of Christians take breaks from social media and the internet from time to time, and their testimonies are always positive and talk about how refreshed they feel in the spirit and closer to the Lord they feel, and stronger even in their convictions. I'm excited to do this thing. Then I had some back and forth correspondence with another user who then writes, thank you for your kind reply. I pray seriously for this matter. Without your warning and challenge, I would not have realized how much I came to rely on the internet. I thought I was already because I rarely watch TV. I thought I was alright because I rarely watch TV and I'm not attracted to the worldly culture. But I was mistaken. To begin with, I'd like to distinguish between necessity and convenience. I will prepare myself more against the digital autocracy, although it seems a little bit late. Thank you for saying that there is always hope and a solution. And this very much ties into what I said the other time, that it's like the sinking sand. Once you are in, it sucks you in deeper and deeper, and it goes slowly. So in the beginning you really don't notice, and then at some point, when you're pointed to this, you will discover how much depending you are on all this, and how much you enjoy these conveniences. Now, a Dutch subscriber wrote, this is separate, this is in an email, so I won't mention her name, but she said, I said goodbye to my iPhone subscription. I think that's very hard for many people. I used it for my work. And then, she describes how she uses it for work, but I will not write this here. But actually she had a good excuse for having the phone. Or good reason, I would say. And I think this is a very brave step that she took. Very brave step. So there's many more. And as I said, you can read them for yourselves. All in all, there were a number of common reasons or maybe excuses for using the smartphone. And I want to briefly address them and also answer to them. Because maybe there are things that you haven't considered or thought of. First of all, several people mentioned that they do not have a landline. And they need to be reachable by children, for work, things like that. So that's then their reason to have this smartphone. Now, there are two answers to this, how you could deal with this, apart from having a smartphone. First of all, simple answer would be get a landline. And there's another advantage to this, to which I will get in a minute. Or get a dumb phone. So there are also, as opposed to smartphones, there are also dumb phones. This is what I also use. So you can be reachable also when you're outside if necessary, although I mostly leave it at home when I go out. But anyway, these are for the time being still sold, and they work fine, and the networks support these phones just the same. And you can call with them, you can be called, you can text with them, there's even a camera inside, you can make pictures if you would want to, although personally I use a camera for that. I'm maybe very old-fashioned in that, but okay, so be it. So you can have this, and but it has all the necessary things, but it's not internet connected, so no social media, no browsing around and all this. Of course, there's also no GPS in there, so you can also not do those kind of things. But it is an answer to the fact that if you need to be reachable by phone, this can be solved this way. So that's one. The second thing that people said, and it already came out in some of the comments that I just read, is that they say, I want to be to hear edifying messages. Now, unfortunately, we have come to the place in time where it's hard to find a church, a fellowship, a good fellowship, I would say, and it's hard to get together with Christians. And so the next best thing we have is to listen online. Actually this channel came into existence because of the request of visitors, because in the beginning we had a lot of visitors from abroad that came to the island on vacation, and during their vacation attended our home church. And then several times the question came, but when I go back home I would like to continue to follow you and to listen to these messages. And so that's actually the reason why this channel came into existence. And so I'm very aware of this need. If we look at the statistics of the users that follow this or the subscribers that follow this channel, and YouTube provides all these statistics, we can see that the largest percentage of viewers uses mobile phone to watch the videos, and then the second it's a computer, and then on smart TV, and finally on the tablet. So mobile phone is as we see, it's the largest group, and it's growing. So online messages can be helpful, they can even be necessary, at least for a season, but again, you don't need a smartphone for that. And I will get to that in a second, because the same thing applies also to the next reason that people give. Namely, they say, but I need it for many things that I do daily. My emailing, my e-banking, communications, things that I just need to do. And yes, there are many things we need to do online nowadays. And practically every government or government service and company has an app in order to connect with them and to do whatever you need to do online with them. And so, again, I have to say, you don't need a smartphone to do these kind of things. In fact, you can do all of this perfectly well on a computer or on a laptop. And this might be a bit of a paradigm shift for many people, but these things work fine. And so you have a laptop, you preferably connect it with a cable to a modem, and don't use Wi-Fi. Now there is another reason to get a landline, so that you can have a cabled connection to the internet. Why do I say that? Because Wi-Fi is actually it's very unhealthy. The radiation is very unhealthy. And so having a modem or a router in your house that is 24/7 transmitting this Wi-Fi signal, and some people even have boosters so that they can reach the back of their garden and whatnot. So these things, it's very unhealthy. And not only that, when you use Wi-Fi, for example, to connect your smartphone or a laptop to the internet, your smartphone itself is also a transmitter, because it's not only receiving, it's also transmitting. So you have actually a Wi-Fi transmitter in your hand or in your pocket on you the whole day. And that goes on top of the 2, 3 or 4 different GSM bands, frequencies that it's sending on and receiving, on top of the Bluetooth, on top of most of the times UMTS signal, GPS. So there are many signals and frequencies that are continuously radiating from this device, and you have it on you the whole time. And it's really very unhealthy thing. And people say, yes, but I can turn it off, but my neighbors have it, so there's signal anyway. Which is true, of course, you can't escape it, but the less signal, and especially near to you, the less risk you run for having health issues because of this. I would really advise this. Get a laptop or a desktop computer and have it cabled to the internet, and work that way. You can do everything you need to do. The advantage of using a laptop or desktop, and in particular when it's connected by cable, is that it sits in a specific space in your house. You put it somewhere on your desk, maybe in a study room or whatever place you have for that. And so when you need to do e-banking or whatever, you go to it, you use it, and you do whatever you need to do. And when you're finished, you can close it, turn it off, and walk away from it. And the distractions are gone. So that has a great advantage over having 24/7 this device in your hand or on you. Then the fourth reason that several people have mentioned is, I want to listen to Christian music. Now, many have come to the notion that we have to listen to music all the time, every day. And that is totally untrue. It has not been like that for most of history. Sure, there is good music, which is nice to listen to sometimes. But music all the time, it's not good for the brain. And I've covered that also in 2 videos, the music and the message, part 1 and 2, in which I explain some of this, how music and rhythms work on the brain. So this is also not a normal and a healthy thing. We are not supposed to listen to music all the time. And by the way, much of the so-called CCM, contemporary Christian music, is really not so Christian to begin with. What's wrong with every now and then playing a CD or an MP3 and listen to that through your house audio system, for example? Or maybe once in a while actually going to a concert, if this is possible. So, yeah, it's always difficult when you're used to things, when things are convenient, to go a step back. But it's also a good thing to do so, and I think in particular in this case. So if we look at the different motivations to have a smartphone, mostly it comes down to convenience. And so to the point that we think that these conveniences have become necessities. And they were not necessities 20 years ago, and they are not now. And sure, your company or school may require you to have a smartphone, but it's not up to them to decide which device you have and how you use it. You have the right to say no. And it's up to them to provide an alternative to whatever they require. I say all this not because I am against technology per se. Actually, I use technology all the time. I work in this field. But the smartphone is not just a device. It is designed to accelerate our dependency, and it's designed to move us toward the platform that will facilitate the mark of the beast. So, but my warning is even stronger. The smartphone is a conduit for demonic influence, from the demonic realm into our realm. And this may seem far-fetched, but please check this video that I did some years ago, New Smartphones, A Quantum Leap, where I speak more on this. And the time will come very soon, that those with discernment will literally see the demons coming through. And actually some already do. Apart from that, at this point in time, it cannot be denied that the demonic influence of this device and all that it delivers is very notable and very powerful, and influencing whole generations, especially the newer generations, but actually it goes through all ages. Brothers and sisters, we are at the end of the age, and this is not life as usual, and it will get more difficult to say no as time moves on. So I hope that this has been edifying and helpful to you, and I hope indeed that you will escape from this sinking sand, from this trap that has been set to catch us, literally. I thank you for participating. I thank you for your responses, for those that did so, and of course you may continue to do so if you feel like it, because others will read these comments that you leave, and this is always helpful. And so check them also every now and then. Go back to this video, see if there's new comments, and how it is can help you or confirm you one way or the other. Thank you for your attention.